Hey guys, so welcome to this video where we will talk about the HTC One, HTC's flagship device for 2013 versus the Samsung Galaxy S4, which is going to be Samsung's flagship device for 2013, and they officially said it's going to come out March the 14th. But I'm doing this video earlier because I want to do a video for all of you guys that want to know right now on the current rumors that's out right now on what we will see and how the comparison looks like. So once the device comes out, I can do a real or not, a real review when I get my hands on the device. So if we start off with the first thing here that is very important, is that the HTC One, if we start off here, of course both are going to be LTE capable devices, both using micro SIM technology, and both is kind of the same size. I mean, the display, if you start off with that, we do know that the HTC One here is using an LCD display, Super LCD 3, which is that HTC has been using LCD technology called LCD 2 earlier, but they're using an LCD panel used as the Asus Padfone 2 has a Super IPS LCD panel, and same with Apple's iPhone is also using an LCD panel, an LED backlit one. And the rumors right now are saying that Samsung is moving away from using Super AMOLED display on their next flagship device. Now, what this means is that on the current rumors that's out right now on sammobile.com, they are saying that Samsung is going to move to an LCD display called a Solex display. That is some interesting stuff right now. So it's a Solex display that we might see. So Samsung may totally move away from their super vibrant AMOLED display, their displays, used because they can't make the Super AMOLED display. They are having a hard time to make a full HD version of that, because as you do know, this year all flagship devices are going to use like a 1080p display, and if Samsung is only can use 720p, that's going to be bad marketing. So both are probably going to have a 1080 x 920 resolution, and of course we do know already the official specs here of the HTC One. So it's a 4.7-inch phone, and the rumors right now are saying that the Galaxy S4 is going to have a 5-inch display. So it's going to move up from the Galaxy S3 from 4.8 to 5-inch. So it's probably going to be extremely much bigger than the current Galaxy phone, the current Galaxy main phone. Both will have Gorilla Glass 2 protection. And if we move down, of course, you don't get the micro SD card slot on the HTC One. That kind of sucks because you can't remove the battery, so the battery also is not removable. So if you drop your phone in water, you're kind of, you're kind of fucked there with an HTC One. And also, if you look at the internal storage, of course, they're both going to come in 16GB variants, or actually the HTC One only seems to be working 32 and 64GB variants, which is going to make the device a little bit more expensive. 2GB of RAM also on both, so nothing weird over there. Here comes the interesting part though. The camera on the HTC One is a 4-megapixel one, but it can still take pictures in resolution 2688 x 1520, and the camera should still, if it's not everything's about megapixels, still records video in 1080p at 30 frames per second. At least it's better than the HTC One X last year that failed so hard, only recording 1080p at 24 frames per second, but this one's better. The one that's rumored right now, the Galaxy S4, is a 13 megapixel camera, 1080p also same here at 30 frames per second. And the secondary camera here on the HTC One is a 2.1 megapixel camera at the moment with an HDR mode, and of course you do have video recording HDR also on the HTC One. So both here also with the version of Android, they're going to feature the latest version of Android 4.2. The chipset also is pretty interesting because we've been hearing these rumors that Samsung is going to move away from their own Exynos thing. So their own Exynos chipset and their own Super AMOLED displays, if they move away from both, it's kind of interesting. So if they're going to use Exynos, it's going to be probably the Exynos 5450 quad, but rumors right now saying that they won't use this because they are having problems with it and that it's overheating issues and stuff. So they may use Qualcomm's Snapdragon 600 chipset instead. So that's the same actually that you get in the HTC One. So it's the Qualcomm ABQ8064T that you do get inside of the HTC One. So it's the same one that we might see in the Galaxy S4, but a little bit higher clocked. Rumors are saying that's going to be around 1.9 gigahertz quad core. So that's 0.2 gigahertz quad core higher than what you would get on the HTC One. If Samsung goes with Exynos, it could be a quad-core 2 GHz based on Cortex-A15. So it could be an octa-core, Samsung's octa-core, which basically means that it will use 8 cores, not at the same time, but for lower cores called Cortex-A7, that it can use in an idle state to save up battery. And then when you do a lot of things, it can use Cortex-A15. So right now, Samsung is in their Galaxy devices using Cortex-A9, so Cortex-A15 is kind of twice the performance there. And so the GPU kind of, we don't know right now, but Adreno 320 GPU, of course, in the HTC One, same as with a lot of other high-end smartphones. So when we go down now to the bottom, also rumors about the battery is 2600 milliamp battery on the Galaxy S4. And I think Samsung has been doing a really good job at keeping a high battery here. And usually HTC has been having a lower battery compared to Samsung. So HTC One is having a 2300 milliamp battery. I mean, when we look at these specs, it doesn't really feel that there's not that much different if they're going to use the same kind of chipset and CPU and GPU and all that. It will really be interesting to see how this year will turn out and how the Galaxy S4 will look like. And of course, we will see those things be unveiled on March the 14th. So of course, I will do an updated video review when we know more about that. But yeah, right now, just have an awesome day, and I will see you all hopefully in the next video. Yeah, peace.